Hello, everyone. So this week, another episode coming from Technical Sports Services. This week, we're going to do a little bit around coaching philosophies, what they are, why they're important, and I'll take you through the one that I personally use for the swimming club I'm involved with. So, a coaching philosophy is something that is very personal to each coach that they set out as a standard or a way of working to their club. Um, Although the committee may be responsible for helping implement that, really it comes from the head coach in the first place, and can be really useful in making sure that everybody is going after the same goal, development strategy. The club is going through the same goals and development strategy to make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page. So we'll have a look into this. If I just share my screen here. So this is a coaching philosophy here. So why is having a coaching philosophy important? Okay, so again, as I said there, it sets a standard for what type of coach or person you are. It gives the whole club an idea of what you want, the kind of way you work, what you expect from the athletes, the committee members, the officials that are representing the club you're leading. It allows you to have something that all the members understand. So again, they can buy into it or they won't. Now, personally, if they don't buy into it, I would rather they aren't part of the system. That's just me. I have a very harsh outlook on it, but really, you set that standard. They should want to join your club to buy into that standard, not to deliberately ignore it. Um, it also gives a clear guidance on objectives and how to achieve them. What does the club want its athletes to achieve? How do we get there? And really, it's one of these things that is set out very much in stone that everybody can understand it and can follow all the way through their progression. What kind of things should you include in a coaching philosophy? Your own personal standards, turning up on time, stretching before a session, how many times they can go to the toilet. For instance, the only time my swimmers are allowed to go to the toilet is after the warm up or outside of a main set. So during the warm up, during the main set, they're not allowed out. They have plenty of other time to go. So even things like that is a standard that the swimmers, in my case, will get used to, or in any sport you guys are doing, they will get used to doing that, and they'll understand that that is the process. Objectives, beliefs, and principles that you adhere to. Again, same thing. Any objectives we want our club to aim to have X amount of athletes at national level. We aim to have a leisurely group to allow members of the public to come in and do exercise for fitness, that kind of stuff. Beliefs, again, same kind of things for turning up on time. How do you conduct yourself when you go to a competition? And make sure that they know they're representing your club wherever they go within that sport. Your leadership style. Now, personally, I'm the kind of person that is, let's say, your friend, but also your boss. You need to have a very balanced way of working. If you are unbelievably strict, that works for some people. If you are totally laid back, that works for some people. So it's finding a balance of what you want and what you want people to buy into. That's how you set your leadership style. Your structure within the team. So this is the management of the team. So Do you have the committee driving everything? Do you have the head coach driving everything? Now, personally, the head coach should set the standard and drive it from an athlete point of view. The committee should drive the rest of the members of the club to follow that same structure. The coaching team should be managed by the head coach. The committee should be managed by the president, and so on and so forth, so that you're making sure that everybody knows where they stand in that list, what their job is, and what everybody is again aiming for within that management. Basic operating rules, again, that's the same thing. Getting on time, attendance policies. Some attendance policies are extremely strict, 100% attendance policies. Some of them 50% attendance policies. It totally depends on what you feel is the best process. Some clubs are performance clubs. They should be dealing with the best athletes. They should be aiming for a higher attendance policy. The other clubs that are more leisurely clubs could potentially have much less restrictions on attendance, and it is totally down to the coach that's leading the entire program. They should set that target out very clearly, and then people know how to follow it. So I'll take you through my coaching philosophy, because I've worked at this for the last 15 years or so, and I've adapted it a little bit, but mainly it has stayed the same since I was an athlete myself, and I've just adapted it into the kind of coaching philosophy I have now. So I call this the phase approach. I'll take you through what it is, and again, it is just totally my opinion. It's something I worked to for a long time, and it has had very good effects and works really well within our club structure. So the F. Okay, the F stands for family. Family is the single most important thing in everybody's life, whether that be your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, cousins, or friends. For athletes, they are likely the ones who are financially responsible for you. They take you places that you need to go, support and encourage you when it's required. Now, obviously, it can be a negative effect as well. Okay, but again, no matter what, that family effect is massive for everybody, and is the most important thing in most people's lives. So it should be top of the list. For coaches, many of us are volunteers. We give up a lot of time to help athletes get to their potential. So support from home for the coaches is important, whether they have partners, kids. If they don't have the support from home, they will not be able to provide that service to the club that they are part of. Academics. Okay, for athletes, academics doesn't necessarily mean school exam grades or going to university. There is lots of different ways of being academic, and it could simply mean to keep learning, whether that be through further education or other means. We have, at our club, we have a junior leadership program. So our senior coaches take on senior athletes as early as 14 or 15. We have them on poolside helping the really young ones. We give them a feedback after 6 and 12 months. And then we decide whether they are the kind of people that we want to put through their level 1 course, a level 2 course, so on and so forth. So the first person I started with is now actually a level 3 qualified swimming coach. So he started out as one of my athletes. He showed extremely good potential to be a coach. So I took him on underneath my mentorship, and we worked through. Now he is a mentor to other people, and it kind of just works through that process. For coaches, actively going on CBD courses, seminars, or upgrading your qualifications is key to keeping up with change and learning new ways that you could potentially better your program. Over in the last 12, 15 months, I was on the national squads coaching team. That opened up my eyes to a lot of different things that I potentially hadn't seen before, or ways that people coach that at the very top level. And so maintaining that level of academics is really important for your athletes and yourself to progress in the sport. The S, speciality. Okay, so this is in terms of this, it would be a sport. Okay, so in terms of this particular video, to me it would be a sport, but your speciality could be anything. So for athletes, in this case, it'd be your sport that you're involved in. However, it could be applied to anything you feel is your speciality: music, art, computers. If you're good at something, sticking at it, as it may open up opportunities in the future you weren't expecting. So a speciality is something that you either really like or you're really good at, a subject at school. If you're really involved with the sport, in this term, is that you keep involved with it as much as you can. There'll be ups and downs, but again, if it's something you're good at, stick at it, work through it. For coaches, it's around sharing your expertise in your specialist area, something that you like doing either as a job or as a hobby. That experience will help improve those around you, including your athletes. So for the coaches in particular, you increase your academics, you get more knowledge, more expertise in the subject. The more you put into it, the more you can get out of it, and the more you can help other people to their potential, and see benefits of the same process. The E, enjoyment. Now, this is key. Something that I have said for a long time. Nobody can say they give 100% something they don't enjoy. If you don't enjoy something, you'll never give 100% to it. You need to enjoy what you're doing to really buy into it. Okay, for athletes, that may mean turning up to morning training, repeating something many times in order to get better. Feedback the enjoyment to your coach. If the feeling starts to fade, discuss with your coach as to how they can help you get that feeling of enjoyment back. It's a huge factor. The social aspect in particular of some sports is hugely important. If that enjoyment starts to waver, then you either try and get that enjoyment back, or really you have to ask the question as to why you're doing it. So for coaches, showing your enjoyment for the sport and being around your athletes will encourage them. If they see that you come on to a session and you are absolutely loving what you're doing and your enthusiasm is through the roof, they will pick on that. They will pick that up, and they will 9 times out of 10 show you that back in their enjoyment. If your heart's not in it, you're probably best to find something else to do, because your athletes will notice. If you come on poolside in a bad mood because for instance, a poolside in a bad mood because it's a morning session, then your athletes are not going to jump in happy as Larry in the morning, because you're not showing that. You're not showing that you're happy to be there. The likelihood is that at 5:15 in the morning, they are not going to be likely be happy to be there. So it's important that the enjoyment factor stays within whatever it is you're doing. And again, this could go back to speciality. So if your speciality, if you're really good at it and you really enjoy it, the likelihood that you succeed and progress is high. If you are especially good at something but you don't enjoy it, then the likelihood is that you'll be good at it for a while, and then once that period starts to lay off a little bit, you'll start to just not be interested at all. And it all interlinks. So I mean, from my point of view with my family, my parents were extremely supportive and they absolutely loved the sport. Still involved now, even though I stopped swimming best part of 9 years ago. They still like to get involved with part of the club I run now. And so it all leads into one another. So this is the kind of process I use. So one thing I would like you to think about is, what's your coaching philosophy? Okay, again, try and set it out so that it is a standard that everybody can understand. Try and set it out so that everybody knows this is what you're about, this is what the club's about. Do we want to buy into that or not? And that's their decision to make up. If they come into the club, you're expecting that they buy into your philosophy before they join. The amount of people over the years that have probably joined a club or a program and they don't have a clue what the coaching philosophy is, after a couple of years, a couple of months even, they don't enjoy it, they leave. So, and there's lots of different times, especially in the sport I'm involved in, where people move clubs all the time. And really, that's not ideal. Obviously, everyone's free to their own choice. But if they find a coach that their philosophy suits that person better, then that's going to happen. That movement is going to happen. And really, that's for their own benefit and the coach, because the coach is not going to enjoy their time if they have athletes that aren't buying into the coaching philosophy you set. So have a think about it. Very important. Create your own coaching philosophy.